Right, so this is sort of first quiet moment I've had. So me and Suzanne decided to do a spontaneous run down to Hastings. So we put the word out back in Waihi with everyone we know on the grapevine, and come up with a load. So Suzanne towed a load of food down, food and bedding, and I had a load of hay. We had 4 layers of hay on this trailer, the transport trailer that we've got, so pretty good load of hay. Yeah, so we got it down and we took the hay to a farm. I don't know the area well enough, but it's in Hastings, up one of the valleys, and she's going to distribute it to some people that the only way they can get in and out of their property is, well, up through their property is with bikes, so conventional bales is perfect for them. Then she gave us some silage bales and we took those back over this way to a marae, which is Flaxmere, and the bales weren't needed there and then, so we just dropped them off at the race course. So I just unloaded them, and yeah, so Flaxmere was hit pretty hard, and we went up a road called Swamp Road, and thought we might be able to offload these bales to someone there, but the properties through there are just unlivable. They're just, the rivers, I don't know what river it is, but the river's been right through all the orchards and everything through there. It's pretty horrific. There was one spot where there was some dead sheep on the side of the road. Yeah, so it's not nice. But what's very unusual is you got areas which have been hit really hard, and then other areas which are you know, perfectly fine. Like in here in Hastings itself, it's pretty much all good. It's just where you got those rivers coming out is where it seems to be worse. That's what we've seen. So I haven't seen everything. I don't know the full extent. I know there's areas that are cut off. We've talked to people on the way down at gas stations, and they're saying that there is areas that are completely isolated. There's no way, well, they can get in and out, but not via the road. They've got other ways of getting out. So yeah, but there is a lot of people down here helping, which is good. So another guy came down from Waihi before us, Sean Madsen, and I know he's already coming, he's probably already there. He came back down again with some other vehicles as well. So he went to Gisborne taking some supplies there. So yeah, we're about to turn around and go home. It must be nearly 1 o'clock, so we are heading home because we need to get home. So we'd like to stay and help, but we just can't. So yeah, like I say, I haven't seen all of it. I've only seen some areas, and there's plenty of help going on by the communities. There's actually plenty of food down here, but I'm sure we could do with more, as well as feed. Yeah, it's sort of still a bit unknown. There's areas where they don't really know what's going on yet. So, but let's not forget, we got, you know, Coromandel was hit pretty hard, as well as up north, so support needs to go to them. So yeah, but we came down this way. We thought we'd do it. We've done it. So I'll probably come back down again later on, either to come down and help do some cleaning up, or come down with another load of supplies. So we'll just see, probably both actually. So yeah, got a little bit more feed on the back of the U-turn load. We had fuel as well. Actually, we dropped fuel off at Civil Defence, and I think they're helicoptering that fuel into farms that can't get fuel. So yeah, still places don't have no power. The place where we dropped off hay, that had no power for 5 or 6 days. So the guys were working on it when we were there. So yeah, so you'll see some clips, bits and pieces that Suzanne's shot. I haven't shot much because I had a guy in the car with me and I don't feel comfortable talking. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, so the best support for people down here is getting those main supplies. So what the main things that are really essential down here is human food, fuel, gas bottles for cooking, and animal feed, as well as there's pet food coming down as well. So, but yeah, we need to look after each other. So that's what I know so far, but it will change. It's changing all the time. Suzanne's watching a page on Facebook which is updating regularly, like hourly, on what things are needed and where they're needed. So yeah, there's plenty going on, so we shall carry on.
Another destruction here, just blatant. Good morning. It is It's not even 7 o'clock yet. We are leaving the Denmark camping ground. We were allowed to stay last night. Owner was very generous to us, very supportive, and we're heading into the areas now to hopefully brighten up someone's day anyway. But we'll have a look what is going on there. Sean Madsen, who started the whole initiative in Waihi, we said let's do something now. He went back up to Waihi yesterday, got even more stuff ready, and is on his way now again with 3 trailer loads full of stuff, as in clean up equipment from what I heard, food, more fuel, animal feed. That is probably the most needed one, the one that is getting used up quickly, like feed and food for people as well as animals. And I'm not just talking horses, we're talking or dogs or cats, you know, I'm talking for any animal that is there. There are sheep, they're still stuck in mud, there are cows that have been found, they're stuck in the silt, in the slush. They need food because there's nothing left to eat. There is no grass, obviously. So yeah, think of that. They don't need clothing at the moment, they don't need bedding at the moment. Furniture, all that stuff will come later, but if there's no house, they don't need furniture either. So let's think of that stuff that we need on a daily basis. The food, their kids, they need to go back to school, they need ready to go lunchbox stuff, I mean, like food, snacks that they can put straight in without having to make too much of a fuss about it. Healthy. So we see if we can, if someone wants to talk in front of the camera, otherwise we just talk to the people and then relay on what we heard. And see how we go. See you later.
So this land here is maize, completely underwater. It's like a lake. There's maize on the edge here we can see. So it'd be a fair bit of water in there.
Into Hastings, you can see that there is silage stacked up here, some other feed. Our hay bales have arrived. It is not yet 8:30, so just before.
There more Waihi people. We had Waihi
Yesterday? Day before?
day before.
Yeah.
Sean is on his way back down again.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh bless, amazing. I think that it was so cool. Thank you.
Is this like hay getting distributed to farmers as well, or just?
Everything and everything. We've got like 110 rounds sat there too.
Yeah.
Which the idea is that the NZ farmers sent that up, so anyone can have it. I think the farmers, I don't. There's more lifestylers at this stage. I think we're just trying to get the word out, which will happen with federated farmers, etc., for the baleage.
Yeah, because like we would take this direct to a farmer if we knew of.
Yeah, and then that's what we've got to try and. I had a meeting with MPI yesterday to discuss that very thing, because it's going to be double handling otherwise.
Yeah.
And so we're really keen to try and
go straight to.
Go straight to the source if we can. So I think that's. I'm just waiting to sort of, I think they're probably going to be coordinating some stuff too, because obviously we want to make it as easy as possible for everyone, and if we can get things straight out to them.
But there's no point in us going like, I don't know where to go, we're from a different area, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can possibly, I can ring someone today, because I know there's an area which they're using as a drop-off point. It was mainly going to be, so I can possibly get you to go straight there.
Oh yeah.
Is there a covered area for hay?
Hang on 2 seconds.
Yep. Yeah. So we're getting closer, we're getting further back, so that was our aim.
We're currently going, I assume it's a farm. I didn't quite get that because I was unloading the pet food donations while we were at the race course in Hastings. So Hamish has requested if we can send it directly to a farmer rather than unloading it there and handling it again and again. He has asked, is there any farmer where we can go directly to unload? So we will go there. They have given us an address. We go there and unload it. Also hand over the fuel if there's a need there. And then we see from there. So we still have most of the stuff. The pet food is out now. We still have basically human food, all the hygiene products that have been donated, the clothes, the beddings, everything is still in our trailer, including the fuel and the hay on the back. Hamish is behind me, not sure if you can see it. I swapped my view of the hay trailer with a digger trailer. And what we see is not even close to what is further up Napier and Gisborne. So we just dropped off our load and exchanged it for some.
Prepare to turn sharp left
Yep.
in 830 meters.
So we just exchanged that for some other feed. So we've been to this farm, we chopped off our hay and asked them if they need any other help, but they are basically a drop-off point for any farmers that are further up this road. The road you've seen just before is constantly clearing, as in I was asking them how they're doing and they said we're waiting for power, which we have seen that the power co people were right in front of us as we were coming into their farm, so they're happy about those news. They said regarding the road I just filmed beforehand that has been constantly slipping, and so they've been clearing the whole time. It's still water coming down, but they are doing all right. They can get through, so they can get to the fuel. We're keeping our fuel for now. We take it to farms. They need it. We've been talking to them and say, hey, is there anywhere they really need it, as in where we can take it to them because they don't have access. They said, look, there's one farm where people need feed. Their animals are getting skinny. They need help, they need fuel. And if we can give it to them, because they are too embarrassed to ask for help. So please do not be embarrassed to ask for help. And we're talking about one of the people working there. She was saying that her sister was lost basically their house, as a not the house is standing, but basically a whole lot of mud going in there, and they lost basically everything that is in it. They can't get to it as long as the mud is there, so that will take a long time to clear up. And sorry, I'm trying to concentrate while we're navigating through that tight spot here. So as I said, that's the road. They're still clearing out. There's still stuff coming down every day. And yeah, so the biggest problem is a lot of communities, individual farms are so isolated and they don't know about it, so they're dropping off those satellite phones or comms or whatever they call it, but they need a big sky. So some of them have been turned on and they know what's going on. They can't land the helicopter to inquire what's happening, but others have not been turned on, or they cannot get reception, so they still don't know what's going on there. And that is the biggest problem. That's what the numbers are. That 3,600 was the last number I heard, are still unknown. So they are not dead or injured, or we just don't know what the situation is. So they're not confirmed. We just don't know. And so anyway, so this sister, I'm rambling just as bad as my husband. So anyway, this sister said that she was swamped and had heaps of silt in her farm and so on, and she said she woke up one morning and had 20 cars parked outside it, and they were all people she did not know, so they just stopped and with their buckets and their shovels and started clearing. So, and that's what it is about. If you have the manpower, if you have a worker who can either take over your work and you can go, or the other way around, that your worker is expressing an interest in helping, if they can have some time off, let them go. Be supportive of it. If you have machinery and you want to help, I know it's a big ask to say, hey, I'm going down there with my machinery and clearing. Maybe our community can help towards the cost of running that machine and giving you some money to do the cleanup jobs. For some people, we traveled 6-7 hours yesterday to just get to Denmark. It's a long trip, and it's not something you can quickly do in a day, but it's an opportunity to help. Go directly to the farms, to the houses, clear up. Yeah, it's worth thinking about it. We're just stuck here in traffic because they're clearing a bigger slip of the road. Alright, we see some more later on. We are going into Fernhill next. They said that's one of the worst destructions you will ever see. So we're trying to be respectful and not show private properties as such. And saying that, yeah.
Just there, the flood bank is broken out. So we're going to drop this. Oh, there's a truck on the side, a Higgins truck. The water's been right through here.
So Hamish had wanted to help. Let's say that way. He wanted to help since last week, and he's like, hey, how about we do this and this and this, and get some feed from the farmers, load up the trailer, go down there and drop it off. So last night was the first night since we had children, so that is 7 years ago, if you count any pregnancies, 8 years ago, that we have been childless away from home. So we had the odd night where the majority of our children have stayed with Hamish's parents, and we're super grateful for those sleepovers as well. But this is the first night that we had no children with us. Guess how we spent it? Traveling in separate cars, slept in separate beds last night, 2 singles. Yeah, that's how I didn't imagine my first night without children. But hey, it's a cool adventure. I'm glad we can help other people, because obviously we do not want to experience that sort of damage ourselves. And that is not the worst of it. So we've been told where we're going now is you have never seen any damage like that before. It is horrendous. It's the worst. And we can call ourselves fortunate to A, not have that sort of damage in our community, and B, be able to afford sending things to someone who obviously needs it a lot. So we have heard of other people say, why should I help? You know, no one else helping us if we hit that situation. Well, guess what? You do not want to be in that situation. And you do not want that sort of attitude either, to say, well, they never helped us. Stick. So help when you can, when you have surplus and you can afford, well, everyone can afford it. I mean, we had drop-offs of food, you know, pet food, whatever, from our town community, and I know some of them are not rich. They are struggling just as bad, but they were actually, you know, the ones that were more generous, and they said, hey, I don't have any more, and I said that is absolutely fine, because for someone, for a family, that will be enough for now. You know, you help them heaps by having that at all. We had other families and other businesses, they dropped off very generous amounts as well. So for each of them, oh my goodness, look at those slips up there. I'm not sure if they've always been like this or if that has happened with the recent rains. Oh wow. Anyway, what I was saying is, give within your means. Don't just sit back and say no one else has helped us. Well, you obviously have never been in a big need like this before.
So they're saying this road's just been opened. The water's just been right through people's houses along here. Flattened maze. Going through people's horticulture. Sad side. You wonder where this water came from, eh? Oh, you can see it's been up so high on the trees. Well, a metre on the trees there, over a metre. Silage bales in there. Vines all gone. The water's been right through this valley. So it comes down, what's the town down here? Flaxmere. Yeah, so this is heading towards Flaxmere.
Well, here, it's one of the 3 tips in the town that we've just been in. We still have our load. We, as we got there, they said, no, we're all good now. We got our stuff delivered, which is awesome. And we just got informed that Swamp Road is open. So we can go this way. We just knock on doors now and see if anyone needs it. And yeah, it's sad. It's very sad to see the damage. So we spoke to 2 households down the road, and I'm looking at those new built houses, as on some of them they look so new, they like never been lived in. And they said the water was knee high inside the houses, so they're already elevated, and then they're still knee high, and they had 10 minutes. Oh my goodness, poor sheep. So this has been just cleared. Look at the mud inside, as in the paddocks are still mud. We just drove past an orchard. They had started picking, and it's all lost. The harvest is lost that they had picked. And I done apple picking like 15 years ago, as I just came to New Zealand. And in an 8-hour day, I only managed to fill 3 or 3.5 of those crates. So I wasn't the fastest, definitely not. So others were definitely doing 6 a day, but even so, imagine you're working for an hour to fill one of those crates, and then it's destroyed within 10 minutes. So there it is on our right side. You can see the crates piling up against the fence over there. Here, they were all ready to be harvested. So the crates are sitting there, ready to go, to be put in, and everything looks rotten now. The fence has been flattened. On the ground. It is horrible. We were were trying, and so there is a settlement further up, but no one can say how far up. So we decided to turn around, go to the marae in town, and because we're running out or low on fuel, we want to get out of this area so that we don't deplete the resources they have here already. So meaning we don't want to use up their fuel if we had fuel in here already. We much rather go to bigger townships, even Palmerston North, to fill up again on our way home. What's the plan?
So we're gonna take the fuel to Civil Defence,
Okay.
because they'll be able to send it out to farms out.
And top that off with the rice.
Yeah, I
course.
think it's just easier to now.
Yeah. I mean,
I
all
don't know
the
where to take it now.
all the farmers, they probably either have enough food or don't have the animals
so
anymore. So we are on our way home now.